All right, so we are here. It is the Go Team Coach Call for June 22nd of the year 2015. And that was almost Picard sounding. I'm sounding Picard. Anybody Picard fans from the old Star Trek world? Remember Picard? I was almost sounding like Picard. Not as a Shatner as I was okay with. Okay, so anyway, long story. Let's continue. We are going to rock out a little bit of team call tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about time management and talk about and how that might be not the best word to think about. So that's going to be a good topic we'll get to. I'm your host, once again, Dan Bogmirovich, and I want to welcome you to our call, especially to new coaches. Let me see if we got any news. No, not to. We're going to have one new coach, but I don't see him on yet. But Juan Guerrero is newer to the team, and he was going to try to make it on tonight, but he's got a young, like 1-year-old baby, and it's sometimes difficult, as many of you parents probably know. Okay, so we're gonna get rolling into our call here. I want to talk to you a little bit about our process, which has changed a little bit. So we're going to actually change this diagram. I'm going to talk to Stacy. So Stacy, if you're listening to this, she's generally a day after listener on this. Customer process and then moving into coach process. So here's kind of the idea. If you guys remember, we've had this before where we did free challenges and then we do a value webinar and then we do paid challenges and then it'd be an opportunity webinar and then we'd ask people to become a coach, right? The free challenge days are kind of waning. And the reason why is what we're finding is within free challenges, the quality of leads within that aren't worth all the effort to put towards that. So what we'd rather do is lead with value still, help people with free, but do it in a little bit different way. And so we're going to talk about the idea of us reasserting the idea of having free support groups, okay? And what this really effectively does is it allows you to gather people into a pool of people that are somewhat interested in fitness. Instead of every time a challenge comes along, you end up promoting it to your basic timeline, which of your timeline, there might be maybe 20%, maybe 30%. I mean, I'm talking probably high numbers here right now that actually would be interested in health and fitness, okay? So, but if we start helping you create a free support group and give you ideas about what to be posting in that group. Now, if you would say, so maybe, well, first of all, quick ask in the group, how many of you have a free support group going right now on Facebook? A free support group, if you've got one. Go ahead and type it in the chat. Or raise your hand, Claire. Linzat's got one. Claire's got one. Tyler's got one. Okay. So what we're going to ask you to do, we're going to start asking people more and more to do this. Now, in the initial stages, sometimes it's really, it's difficult because you feel like there's not enough critical mass in there and there's maybe not enough people posting. So what you can do initially as you're a coach and leading your team, you find that break-off point where it's like, hey, you know what? I've got enough people, and I'm going to break off some people, and we're going to kind of form our own-ish group. And I would say if you're like all in and you want to rock this and you've already got your tribe, so Bonnie, I would say particularly for you, Bonnie Yoder, you've already got your tribe. You need to be rocking a support group that's just your tribe already, and kind of making that set of group of people. And then you add people as you find them interested. And the cool part is when you're helping people, there's never going to be a point where you say no. There's never a no, because the ending point, the last ditch effort. So let's say you start and you offer them, hey, you want to join my 21-day challenge? They get into the pricing and they go, oh man, that's too expensive. Can't do it. Great, no problem. We've got a 6-day clean eating reset. What do you think about that? Can I send you some information about that? They look at that and they go, oh, no, wait, it's too expensive. Oh, whatever. All right, no problem. Would you like to be part of our free Facebook support group? We can help you reach your goals. No one ain't going to turn down free, especially if you've taken that much time to process them through a 21-day offer and a 6-day offer. They're going to go, oh, of course, yeah, absolutely, yeah, no problem, because they see that you care because you're following up, right? So we have the support group then, and if we start equipping you now more on ways to engage people within that group and ideas that will help you to engage your customer base. Okay, for free? No way, Bailey. See, yeah, you. That's okay. So Bailey, you can send that to everybody. I think you just send that to me. But yeah, so you just gotten turned down for free. Most people don't get turned down for free, but Bailey did. She's setting the bar. She's setting her own bar, which is great. So nice, good job, Bailey. But most people don't. I would say like 95% of the time they're going to say yes to at least some kind of being in support group. Okay, whether they check it or not is a whole nother story. But at least you're getting them in there. So anyway, so we start that off with a free support group, which then invites to a 6-day challenge within there. So after you've added some value and you've been like giving them good tips, you've been giving them good, whether it's recipes, you're giving them tips about tips about fitness, and then you kind of can move them through that process. And then when you invite them to a 6-day clean, they're going to be that much more apt to say, hey, well, all right, I've seen a little bit about Shakeology. This is great. Yeah. Initially, what do we tell them that this group is for? Yep. Well, I guess you are. Yeah. So what we say this group is for, ultimately, that is going to be an encourage. And I think every group could be a little bit different depending on your tribe that you're building, right? So you could focus in. So like a good example, like Bonnie, she might be focusing in on she's got a whole cycling group, right? They're bike people. She could focus in a little bit different on that focus. Claire, for you, because you're going to reach out, yeah, absolutely, encourage healthy lifestyle. You could maybe reach out with a little more specific towards, this is really going to be for moms, like the busy, like the minivan mom, like we talked a little bit about with you, that your target's going to be maybe hitting more towards that. So you're going to add value. So you might even find something completely not related to fitness. And you go like, this is a great way to organize your minivan. Check out this cool DIY project for the middle, right between the seats. So it's not so messy. Here's a little DIY project that you can do that would be a cool thing. Or here's a little thing at Lowe's that we found that is a cool way to, whatever, something like that could be a cool thing for your target that would help develop that. Okay, Bonnie, same way. You could find stuff for encouraging a healthy lifestyle, but if you wanted to give some specific, like a bike tip, like, wow, here's a specific way to adjust your seat that helps more comfort. I don't know, whatever. A better way to do like hand grips, like better, more comfort so your hands aren't cramping up. I don't know, whatever. Those kind of tips could be really, really helpful for your people and build a value into them. Okay. And then that process continues, guys. And then we'll ultimately still have value webinars, still go into paid challenges, opportunity webinars, and coaching. Then the whole coaching process is going to change a little bit too as we help people with a new system that we're working with Team Symbiotic as well. And that is, that's my coach, David. And we're going to be working on this whole idea of Simple 5. So Simple 5 is really going to simplify the process for us all as we work with coaches, and we'll be that much more apt to invite people when we know that the coaching process is simpler. And let's face it, Stacy and Jason, we launched some like Rock the Basics, and we think it was probably just too complex and people just got overwhelmed too much. And we want to revamp that and kind of reset it with some of the Simple 5 stuff that we're looking at, which still does need some work itself, but we're hopeful that that's going to be great. Okay, enough about our process, but that's sort of where we're at. A quick quote to grow on, really quick, from Brendan Burchard. Love this quote. Wake up. If you just fell asleep and you're now checking Facebook or you're checking Twitter, come back to me just for a second because this quote is epic. Epic. Okay, stop typing and read. Ready? Here we go. Bam. Perhaps the world isn't giving you what you want because based on all your distractions, including Facebook, including Twitter, and Instagram, and all those crazy things, and lack of discipline. What? It's simply unclear what you are asking for. Oh, dagger, heart. Oh, it just killed me. Oh. Yes, I feel it. So I'm excited because we're going to talk a little bit about some concepts from Brendon Burchard. That's from the book called The Charge, guys. In boom, there it is, says Liz, and I love it. Yeah, that is so true. Okay, can we all give some? I'm going to unmute you all because I think this is my friend Bailey. Bailey Jensen is my new. Oh wait, hold on. Get that background out of there. This is Bailey Jensen, and she is my new official admin assistant. Can we hear some applause? Like literally.
Yay!
Oh, yay! Tales of Hayseed. You're awesome. So, yes. And so I'm muting you all. Sorry again. So Bailey is going to be in charge of keeping us all on track. So when you don't know something and you're trying to reach me, you can probably ask Bailey because we're getting more simpatico. She understands more and more about what I'm trying to accomplish. So, and what we're trying to accomplish. So Bailey's going to be just an essential part of building this team in the next year or so. And I'm really excited that she's on the team. So please reach out to her if you do need help with things and you have some questions, as well as some of our diamonds, including Claire and TJ now, which is pretty cool. We've got multiple diamond awesomeness. So that's great, and excited for some new emeralds that are coming down the road as well. Chat, shout out, please. Here we go. You ready? Yes, you are. I know you are. Here we go. Wait a minute. Totally missed it. 1, 2, ready. Turn up the volume, Dan. Turn up the volume, and go. Hit it. Shout out. It's the shout out. Awesome. Epic song that you all love and know. I'm sure you probably have that like pretty much on the top. You want to raise that to the top of the iTunes charts, but sorry, it hasn't been released yet. I'm like Prince. Remember Prince like wouldn't release anything digitally. So pretty much me. I'm that way. Just won't release it. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Here we go. The last movie you loved. Shout out into, and it doesn't matter. It could be Gone with the Wind. Like that was the last movie that you loved. Whatever last movie that you loved. Type it in the chat, please. What's the last movie you absolutely loved? No one. You guys aren't watching movies anymore because you're Beachbody coaches. You're like, American Sniper. Oh, look at you. Bailey, bringing up. Wow. Dark Knight Rises. Isn't that like the one with Bane and stuff? Yeah, it's Bane. Very cool. Claire's like stretching to think of something. She hasn't even seen a movie in the last. She's been doing soccer mom stuff. Very good. Born in the Darkness. Titanic, yes. Awesome, Claire. That is great. Insurgents. Mean Girls. There you go. And that Shawshank. Bryce is going old school and, of course, poignant. Very well. Very well said. I'd say the last one that we saw that I really liked. It's interesting. It's our family likes this thing, but I'm going to say it, and I know this is like a totally teen. Hold on. And this is probably more of a like my girls love this movie, but I actually like. There's a lot of cool things about Person Being a Wallflower, which is really weird because that would be like a totally chick flick kind of a thing for a lot of guys. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay, and the reason why is that I love the fact in that particular movie. So I would challenge you to think about maybe why you liked those movies that you just mentioned. Okay, for me, why Perks is so important. Or why I really liked it is because there was this sense of inclusion. So there was, and I would say Mean Girls probably, Lindsay is one of those two, where it's like the fact that there was a group that wanted to exclude people, and then there's this whole, yeah, seriously. I wear pink on occasion too. But that thing of the whole idea of being included, and the fact that no matter where you're at or how you are, who you are, that you can be accepted for who you are. And I think that for me really stood out about that movie. And that's kind of how I want to run my business too, is I never want to be in the spot yes, very nice. And so the more you can be in that spot, or like there's a reason why you like that, and then you can almost verbalize that, that's great. And so Bailey pretty much likes to shoot people. So that's good. So Bailey, good. No, just kidding. But the point that I'm trying to make with why I want you to focus on this for just a second is the fact that you have preferences and you have likes and you have desires and things that you like to do. Okay. And what I'd like to do is like to translate this then to your business really, really quickly. When you have something like this and you can recommend a movie. So if I were to like recommend Perks of Being a Wallflower, I could be like to a friend, like, oh my gosh, I love the way that they develop characters. And then there's this clan, like this tribe of people that traveled together, this tribe of kids that traveled together, and they really accepted each other for who they were. And then they also challenged each other to be like kind of the best or more of who they were, rather than trying to conform to whatever society standards and things like that. So for me, that was a great way to like, I would recommend it that way. So as this relates to your business, guys, the last movie you saw is kind of like the same thing as like maybe the last program you did. You can think about this as well. Like, what's the last program you did? And maybe you did like, and maybe, you know, like some of my folks who are close or local, and it's like, yeah, I did part of, you know, P90X3, or I was on demand and I did part of this, and then you can like kind of recommend. It's like, wow, I love, you know, the thing I love about PIO, guys, honestly, I'm not a big PIO person. So the point that I would do this, or I would say, or is recommend, like, so PIO, I love the way that Shailene Johnson cues and how stinking encouraging she is. So when you get done with that workout, you've absolutely sweat like crazy, but you've also been encouraged in your life. So I would recommend that to anybody, especially when they need encouragement in their lives and they're looking for not only just a great workout, but they need that extra encouragement in their life. And wow, Shailene Johnson can provide that. So just looking at that as a way, so rather than becoming salesy and rather than being that person who's going to be like, oh, I'll come buy my thing, it's like, well, hey, no, look, this is why I love this. This is why I love it. And then there's a story about behind it. And so for me, that's kind of the thing. So I would challenge you to think about that maybe when it comes to your workouts and your business. Okay. Success Club for June. 3 lives and up. I think we need a few more people. We've got this last week, and I'm expecting this last week to be where you guys crush it. Who's going to crush it? Come on, people. In the chat. Who's going to crush it and at least get in the 3 Lives Club? Come on. Right there. Yes. Tyler, I'm sorry if I missed you. If I didn't see any. Okay, gotcha. Yes. Doing it. This is the week, guys. This is when we have to do it. You got one. Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie. I must have missed you there, girl. Good. Got some in the works. Good deal. I think that's really important to have that, at least have the attitude, guys, that at least for me, I've said to myself, I'm a Success Club person. That's the way I roll. I'm a Success Club person. It's not like, it's like I wonder if I'll hit Success Club this month. No, it's like I wonder when I'll hit Success Club this month. Now, just got you. So remind you of that. Go after it. Run after it. Get after it this week. There's no more time to waste. Okay, we do have another call in between now and then, but let's make sure you got it. So you hit it for Success Club for June. And also the cool thing is that you're going to get a chance if you do hit this and you hit it last month as well. You get that Bo Eason special webinar that you get to be on about telling your story. So it's an extra. I'm serious. You want to be in that. So like particularly like Claire. You're telling your story, right? You're going to make this transformation video that's coming up here. Oh, girl, we got to have you on that webinar. Okay, so that's good stuff. All right, new challenge, guys, coming on the 6th. Real quick here, June 6th, our team is going to be running challenges. If you are up for running one, please let me know. You can type it in the chat if you're going to run a challenge on June 6th. or going to team lead with a few other coaches, please let me know on that, just so I know who we're equipping. Liz is trying. Nice. Good deal. Maybe run her own. That'd be cool. Good deal. So June 6th is going to be, I'm sorry, did I say June 6th? Yeah, rats. We're going back. We're really prepping early for next year. Fix that. There you go. Bam. July 6th. Thank you. Team leading with up. There we go. And so this next week or so, we've got like this week and should be purchasing by next Monday. You can refer them now to thefitforlifechallenge.com. It will give lots of information about the challenge. It gives the option, the main option is 21-day fix. If they've already had 21-day fix, option number 2 is on Beachbody On Demand. If they don't want that, maybe they're a little bit lower tech, there are other options, especially in the lower price range right now. Still got Body Combat going on at that 140 range, and you still got the 21-day fix extreme. So maybe somebody's done 21-day fix and they want to go to something else. Okay? Lots of details. Yeah. That's what I said. On Demand will be the second option of that thing. And then, of course, we explain Shakeology and all that stuff. There is a need, just so you know on this. The price is not let out of the bag on this, okay? So you're still going to have to educate your people on Shakeology. I'm going to talk to David a little bit about this. I think the video for the 21-day fix that's on there should chain right into like how I have mine set up, where I've got it going right from 21-day fix right into the Tony Shakeology video. So it talks about pricing in there. And then you come as the savior when they go, oh my gosh, Shakeology is $129. And you go, guess what? The program only is $140 total for and $2 shipping. Isn't that amazing? Like, it's so great priced. And if you would normally purchase Shakeology, your shipping, and you're probably up into high 130s. So you're really almost getting this for free, which is awesome. So you're the savior, which is great. Okay? So new challenge coming up. Make sure you got that, and we're right, good shape. All right. Cheer our people on. 5-day push to Emerald. Got a list of about 6 or 7 of you who have talked to me that you are interested still in nailing this by Wednesday night, 11:59. It is time to get serious and really ask your people if they're in or not, and to start moving on that. So 5-day push to Emerald will be really great shape. All right, we're going to move to the content of our call. Here we go, guys. You guys ready? You guys are ready. Awesome. First of all, I'm going to put Tyler on the spot. My friend Tyler. Let's hear from you, my friend. You there? Tyler, can you unmute yourself? Tyler.
Yep, just got it.
Awesome, man. Yep. Good deal. All right, Tyler, I'm totally putting you on the spot. I told Tyler, I gave him about like 30 seconds before the call. I said, hey, I'll probably put you on the spot, just so you know. And he's like, whatever. Okay. So Tyler, what is as it comes time, what is your biggest struggle?
My biggest struggle?
Yep.
I'd say it's meeting new people and opening up the new conversations.
Okay. Because that definitely does take a lot of time to develop those new conversations, right? Because they don't have, conversations happen sort of organically. They don't often happen on the schedule. Am I right?
Yeah, because it's more of a, you don't want to scroll through Facebook too much to see what people are doing and to try to find conversations starters, I guess. So that's one thing that you have to be cautious of, and what I find myself doing when I'm trying to, connect with new people or whatnot, is scrolling on Facebook.
Yeah, very, very much so. Bailey, can you share that publicly? Just copy, paste that again. Paste that quote into the chat. Go up to the top of the chat and select all. There you go. Yeah, look at this. So the bad news is time flies. The good news is you are the pilot. So we have some decisions that we can make in that, which is pretty cool. Stephanie Morris, I'm gonna put you on the spot. How about you, girl? Can you unmute real quick? So Tyler, if you wouldn't mind muting back up, that'd be great. Just keeps our noise down. Thanks for sharing. Stephanie, you there? Stephanie.
I got it.
Awesome, girl. What's your biggest struggle as it relates to time?
Just staying organized.
Okay.
Too many
So
ideas
having maybe
floating
a
in my head.
plan of action rather than just like shoot, aim, fire, whatever, or shoot, whatever it is.
Right. I flip from one thing to the next, and I just need to stay on track.
Gotcha. Yep. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in the call, but then also there's a bigger practice I want to even mention to you guys that I think is pretty helpful as well. Good. Thank you. Lindsay, you there, girl? Can you talk?
Hello?
Hey, Lindsay. What do you think? What's your biggest struggle as it relates to time?
I have a very demanding full-time job, which relatively goes way beyond 8 hours. And what I do is I'm a social media manager.
Yep.
So anytime I'm on the computer trying to do something else, I'm always, and it's not even my own Facebook, I'm always flipping back to work Facebook to make sure nothing's on fire.
Yep. That's probably an insane thing to have to kind of manage. And then for a lot of people, it's like, main world is not Facebook and all that, but then like you go and do that, but you have to like double duty on Facebook.
Right.
I would imagine it's difficult. Okay.
Right. I don't have a team. It's just me. So
yeah,
it's me doing everything. I do all the things.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too, which will be, I think this will be helpful for you. Bales of hayseed. How about you? Can you talk?
Yes.
Talk to us.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Mine for sure is not having a schedule because I stay at home with my kids.
Yep.
I know as much as they need schedules, so I try to schedule as far as their day goes, but as far as mine goes, I absolutely have none.
Gotcha.
They have a schedule, but I don't.
Yeah, so really, and you've probably heard this before, but and we all fall into it too, but it is the thing is like, having no plan is actually having a plan, but it's just not a very good one. Right? It's the planning not to plan, right? And I'm there too. I'm like today I got sabotaged. So anyway, that's significant stuff to look at, and we'll talk about that as we go. All right. I'm going to move on. I'll talk to some of you guys later in just a second here. Okay. So here's a question. Have you noticed this? And maybe you could say, why do some people seem to be so good at using their time and others, they just aren't so good at it? I wonder why. And so it's curious that there seems to be a group of people that are quote unquote organized, you might say, or quote unquote efficient, or I don't know what you want to call them. And then there's those people, they know the secrets. They've got they're precious, that they've got some kind of insider information. And maybe it's true. So let's talk about it for a second. And maybe you've seen this, guys. Have you ever seen this quote? Okay. So prioritize your to-do list. You ever heard of that? Right? So seems like a good thing. Get your to-do list and prioritize it. Make sure you get things that are priority done first. Do it. Yeah, I've heard of that. That's good. How about this one? So use time more effectively in your business. So you're like, you're going to effectively use that time, which could be, kind of a cool thing, and making sure you're using your time more effectively. And then also this particular term that's often used around is this time management, right? And there's whole books. There's actually you can just go to, there's a whole section, I think probably in Barnes & Noble, where you can just walk to, time management. You could like look through the whole section there, you know. So I'm gonna step out on a limb here, not offend anybody, and I'm not saying every author is. It's a little bit of semantics, but it's very specific. So these terms, specifically time management, false. Okay. And the reason why it's false, when you try to manage your time, guys, when we try to manage our time and we try to make the most out of those moments, and you're trying to like, okay, you know, and you get up in the morning and you're like, okay, now I've got to get all my eggs, you know, ducks in a row here, and I'm all set. I want to make sure I get it all set. Honestly, that is going to be a recipe for recipe for spinning your wheels. It's not disaster, okay? At least you're maybe getting something done. But here's the thing, and if maybe you're like me on this, have you ever done this? Maybe you've like set your list and you got like a list of things to do, and then you go, yep. So you make that list or whatever, and then you start attacking a few of the easies. And you're like, okay, I could quickly respond to an email, or there's a Facebook message. I hit that real quick. And you start to pick the easy ones first, right? It's like, oh, I can knock this off real quick. This is really good. And I get a win. I can get a win in the pocket. That's awesome. You know, that feels really, really good. But really what that tends to happen is that's sort of a bit of a way of avoiding the most important tasks for the day. Because truly, guys, and this is why time management can fail so often, is that we tend to prioritize a whole list of crazy, crazy urgent things. Yeah, very good, Claire. So this is a little bit based on Eat That Frog, book by Brian Tracy, which is a great book. If you haven't listened to that book, or read that book, fantastic book. It's great. So if you are constantly in the process of making the small list and trying to check stuff off and just sort of you feeling accomplished, you're going to spin your wheels. And we'll talk about a couple things that are missing, okay? So I'm going to tell you, don't use time management. Don't use time management because it's going to be false. You're going to spin your wheels on less important things, and you will not make progress on what we're going to be calling the tasks that move the ball down the field, and we call them multipliers or game changers. Those are the kind of things that you need to be focusing in on a daily basis, and all the other things will come along with them. All the smaller tasks will find their space. And if you guys know the whole Stephen Covey principle about putting big rocks in first, that is a very applicable thing to your daily time, not just your overall life planning. So big rocks meaning the more important things versus the small rocks, which are less important things. Okay. And you know, there's quadrants. You can, like, have you ever done the 4 quadrants thing where there's things that are like, they're important and urgent, or they're important but not urgent, then not important but not urgent, and then what's the fourth one? Not important but urgent, or whatever. There's that. And then, yeah. So anyway, so kind of categorizing your tasks. That's an okay way of doing things. But the big deal is I want you to consider using this. Project management. So stop using time management and start managing your projects. And I think this is the question. So what's the difference? Okay. And here are the 2 specifics on this real quickly. Time management says, make the list and prioritize. Okay. Find all the tasks. And like each day you just got like kind of that big bucket dump of all the stuff you got to do. Laundry, kids, blah, 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 social media posts, whatever you got to do for your business, all that. And you put that all together. And then what happens at the end of that process, you're supposed to take that list, right? And like we said in the beginning, prioritize that list. And then really all you've done is maybe taken all just mostly urgent tasks and prioritize them. They may not be game changers. They may not move the ball down the field a whole lot, but they're urgent because they have a deadline and it's really like there's a bill that needs to be paid, there's a kid that needs to be taken somewhere, whatever those things are, okay? But your bigger picture things that are going to advance your business, advance your life towards your big rock goals, they will not happen. And I'm just saying, if you don't do enough of that where you are engaging in activity like that on a regular basis, where you're moving the ball down the field, you're going to lose some confidence, you're going to lose some, what it's called congruence. We'll talk about that in a second, okay? So time management says make the list and prioritize. Project management says make the priorities and then use the time. So the whole point is you've set things that are priorities first, and then you insert them into your schedule, not the other way around. So you're not like trying to like fill time with stuff. You're actually saying, no, these are the important things that need to get done that are going to move the ball down the field, that are going to develop me personally, professionally, all those different things. Maybe you've got goals, whatever kind of goals you've got. That's how you move the ball down the field, is when you manage projects, okay? And so projects, let's talk about that for just a second. At any given point, if you have more than 3 projects, this is straight from Brendon Burchard, and is from the Charge and also his high performer training, okay? Very good. And that is a challenge, and we're going to talk about that in just a second too. So if you have more than 3 projects going on at a time, you have no projects going on. Got it? I'll say it again. If you have more than 3 projects going on at a time, you have no projects going on, because none of them are going to get progress. You will not be able to dilute your attention beyond 3 at any given point. Okay? You need to be able to minimally, I would prefer 1 or 2. And I think Brendon Burchard would say the same thing. Just keeping it focused on what are the main things that are going to move the ball down the field for you. Okay? So maybe some of you, that's focusing on getting 2-star diamond. 2-star diamond is going to be your next one. What is that goal? I want to rank advanced so I'm able to then start getting the residual checks and bonuses that are going to really start generating income for my family. Or maybe it's, hey, I need to get to the point where I actually launch my business by getting to Emerald. I need to get to Emerald. This is my goal for this. So if the deadline is Wednesday, you've got to then back the setup of all the different things that you need to do between now and Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. that need to happen in order to move the ball forward. What does it look like? Especially for those of you who've been in that group, what are the behaviors that you need to do? We've talked about all these things. You know what to do. Okay, you've got the idea now. It's just a matter of implementing. Okay? So no more than 3 projects at a given time. And if you keep that in mind, then you're going to be able to focus in on projects. Now, what is a project? Now, a project is not micro, super small thing like make social media post about clean eating challenge. That's not really a project. That might be connected to a overall bigger project that might be, okay, get to Emerald, because I'm going to develop more people into the thing. So that might be a subtask below that. But otherwise, you're going to be, and if you do, maybe that's part of moving that ball down the field. That's great. But you connect that to the bigger goal, bigger project of, hey, get to Emerald. Make the call to cousins, whoever, and ask them about coaching, or whatever your task, whatever that task might be, is going to get you towards that goal. Okay, so I'll get to that in just a second. So you're looking for things in your life. They're going to be multipliers and game changers. So what in your life right now would be a multiplier and or a game changer for you? What might it be? Blog, might be YouTube channel, might be regular set schedule for social media posts that you are filling on a regular basis so you're not distracted by Facebook. Game changer might be, I don't know. There you go. YouTube and blog. That might be your game changer. Yep. So you have to set what those are. If you do not know what this is, what these are, reach out to us. Reach out to your upline, reach out to me. We want to help you. We want you to find those game changers in order to build this moving forward. Yeah, great post tonight, by the way, Liz, from class. That was great. Yep. That's good stuff. So I think the important thing for you guys and me is to be constantly thinking about what's next. And then here's the cool thing. Yep, that's good stuff. Now, I'm not sure that's going to be ultimately a game changer right now, Liz. That's consistency right now. So we've got to talk about ultimately developing that blog into a funnel for developing new customers for you, because that's like a small part of a project. You see what I'm saying? So your project might be develop, like really your project, find 300 new leads in the next 4 months. I don't know, 300 brand new people that you have not experienced, that you don't even know yet. How do we find them? And then that's how you kind of, you see, so it's got to be a little bit bigger picture, but that consistency might be a sub point to get you to that point, the end goal versus, yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's important, guys. So here's the deal. As you're building your social media presence, and guys, we're going to talk about this, and I think I'm going to hijack I had a plan, I think, for next week's call, but I think I know what I need to talk about now. And I was really debating on this. I'm going to talk about the difference in social media, because I'm starting to move away from this now, guys. The difference between voyeurism and actually developing a business when it comes to social media. So voyeurism is really fun to develop, and you want to develop affinity, and you want to be able to, like, hey, I want to, like, show people what my life is. I want to show a healthy, fit lifestyle and all that kind of stuff. But if it never really directs people anywhere, and it never gets people into a sales funnel, especially grabbing their email and then adding value to their email, it's probably what we call voyeurism. It's just like, hey, look at me, look at my fun, healthy self. And not to say that can't inspire, but if you're never offering people that next step and pointing them into a challenge or a way to direct them, or, and developing kind of a relationship with what Shailene Johnson would call her tribe. I'm going to type this in, and we're going to talk about it next week. I want you to listen to at least one episode from this podcast, Building Your Tribe, Shailene Johnson. Got it? It's called Build Your Tribe. Excuse me. Build Your Tribe. Super important. If you want to be, and this is what part of the thing that we talked about. How many of you have read the GSR, the GSR not requirements, but guidelines for taking somebody through a GSR? That's a PDF document that I put in the Coach Club. How many of you read it? And it's okay if you haven't. Okay. Claire hasn't. Not yet. That's okay. Very, very important. And the reason why I want to tell you this is that one of the things that I think we tend to neglect when it comes to building our businesses is not seeing ourselves as, and I hate to inform y'all, even though we are definitely Beachbody coaches and we help people with health and fitness, there is an aspect of this that needs to be network marketing. if you don't understand network marketing and learn the skill set to develop that, you will stay an amateur and a hobbyist for a long time. I want our team to develop beyond that point into a place where we start to learn professional skills in developing ourselves as network marketers, not the greasy, grimy, gross kind, okay? Yeah, we have to go pro. We have to make to that point where we're not just saying, oh, I'm going to post my little selfie of my workout and I'm sweaty pic and I'm doing that. That's great. There's part to that. That's okay. I'm not saying that that's like the worst thing ever. But there's more to the story than that. And we got to start looking beyond that as a team so you guys start to get the bang for your buck. I don't want you wasting your time posting a whole bunch of stuff and say, hey, I think I'm building a business here. When actually it's like, you know what? You're just staying busy. And I want you to be effective in building your business. That's really critical. Okay? Enough of that said. So we'll talk about that more a little bit next week. So it's going to be really about, we're probably somewhere in that GoPro world about what it means to build your tribe, that'll be part of, that's why I want you to take a look at that podcast. Okay, good. Last things here, guys. So when you do accomplish the important things versus accomplishing menial. So when you accomplish something on that important list, so maybe you've made that contact, maybe you're able to, hit something and check something off that is towards that big game changer goal, then you're going to have you're going to develop confidence in a thing that's called congruence. So congruence basically means, you know what confidence is, but congruence is I do what I say I do. Make sense? I do what I say I do. You could also call it integrity, but it's really an internal integrity because these are things you might not even voice. You might not ever say to anybody, I need to do X, right? I need to develop my blog, or I need to develop a YouTube channel. You may never ever say that to somebody, but yet inside you know that you need to do whatever that is in order to move the ball forward in a substantial way, okay? Maybe it's again, so Claire, I keep pointing out for this, but it is like that, doing your transformation video for you, I think is going to be a game changer. It really is. You're going to be able to tell your story. You're going to be able to communicate that whole thing. If all you do is just worked on three different slides of it, and you start uploading some of the script in there, or you've written more of the script and you kind of whittle it down, taken 20 minutes to do that, you're going to feel more confident and you're going to feel like inside I've actually made progress towards a big picture goal versus a whole bunch of social media posts. And honestly, Facebook, guys, is going to still be there. Facebook's still going to be there. If you actually did a few of those things, and then you could still do those Facebook things, and it's okay. Don't stress, okay? Confidence and congruence are going to be big builders for you, and I think it'll be great. So tomorrow, before you check Facebook, before you check email, before you hit Instagram, I want you to plan your projects. And I would love it if you need that extra level of accountability, go ahead and message me or message your coach, whatever it is. These are my 3 things that I'm working on. These are my 3 main things. And of these today, I'm going to be working on this one first, and this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Before you even get on that Facebook, don't do it. If you do, if you're going to come to our, we would come to a workout, do your workout, and you want to post your pic just to do that, do it really fast, but then don't look at everybody else's stuff. It's just your own world. You're posting it as a business. You have a complete purpose. I'm only posting this, and I'm not going to go and 5 other people's pictures. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm not even going to check my messages. No, I'm not, because I'm going to plan my projects first, and then I can engage those other things after I've begun some of that work, and I've got a slot where I'm going to do it for Instagram or Facebook or whatever you're going to do. Okay? So that's pretty much that. I want to remind you guys that again, our 10K 18 goal, guys, We're still looking for those 11 Apex leaders. We've got those people in line more and more. So if you're still interested, this is going to be the last call I'm going to make for at least the group that I want to move forward with. People are hosting regular groups for the next, like, say, 2 or 3 months. I'm going to meet with you guys on a very just a quick Zoom call probably in the next week or two in order to talk about what those expectations are. And especially when it comes to then reporting, because if we're going to ultimately reach this goal, we need to somehow track it. And Bailey's going to be involved in this too. But we're going to be able to, that when you get done with your challenge groups, we want to know kind of how your numbers are, what we're doing in that. And then also specifically want to start to capture more and more success stories from our challenge groups, and then start telling those stories for each other that we can borrow. And that's really, really a critical thing. So remember, reaching 10,000 lives by Summit 2018. So next week, our call, June 29th, is going to be all about going pro and what it means to really develop yourself as a professional network marketer and what that looks like in the daily life of a Beachbody coach. I think it's going to be really helpful. You're going to want to make sure you invite your friends. I know summer can be like that, like crazy, because I know our lives are busy and, like the daylight lasts longer, so it's nice to be out. But if you can, I think that'll be really a helpful thing. So guys, thank you so much for being on the call, and thanks for taking this time. Any questions before we leave? What you got? Any questions? Okay, awesome. Well, I'm thinking we need to just hit some old school. We got to go old school. What do we got? Oh, yeah. Remember this one? Oh, remember this one? Oh, yeah. Dancing with myself. Just so y'all know, I'm forming a band. We're going to be called the 1984